Hello, I'm Matt from Ludo-Chrono. Today I'm going to give you an overview of Skiiks, which is a 2 to 6 players game for players ages 7 and up, and it plays for around 15 to 45 minutes. This is a game in which you organize your stay in a ski resort over the course of 2, 4 or 6 days depending on the game length you want. And you're going to play cards around your snowfront. You're going to play ski cards, also accommodation, but also restaurants and after-ski activities. And this is all going to score you snowflakes, and you need to have the most at the end of the game to win. So that's basically it. So you're going to be playing in days, which are basically rounds. And in a day, you have to draw a card, then play a card, and you can draw the card of the discard pile or the top card of the deck, and then you play a card from your hand, or you discard 3 cards from your hand to re-roll the die. I'm going to cover that later. In this case, I'm going to draw a card and place it into my hand, and then I will play a card from my hand. I'm going to play a ski lift card, and I'm going to play this card here in this part of my snowfront. As you may notice, I may have an infinite number of cards here, and the ski lift is going to allow me to play any slope of my choice. Otherwise, I have to stick to green. This is the end of my turn because I have taken a card and placed a card. Then we move on to that player's turn. And that player notices that the objective of the day is objective number 6. So we're going to score points on the ski slopes, but also in the after-ski section. So she will take the top card of the discard pile and add it to her hand. And then we are revealing the next card because the discard is empty. And she's going to play the card like so. We have a maximum of 3 cards. If either player places their third card here or their third card in the restaurant section, they put an end to the day. We finish the table turn. The first player doesn't get to play again, and then we count points. But this is not the case here. We move on to the next player's turn, who will draw a card and then play a card from their hand. And this is a tough luck card. The tough luck card is going to target and discard a specific icon, a specific type of cards. In this case, an after-ski card. So that card will be removed from the game, from the current day, and then the player who has lost a card will incur a penalty. Either they will skip their next turn, or they will swap a card with the player who played the card, or their entire hand. So we'll imagine that that player will skip the next turn. Then we move on to me. I will draw a card and then play a card from my hand, and I will play a ski slope. So the ski slope is cool because it allows me to gain stars, but I can only get ski slopes of that color or lower. And if I, for example, would move to red ski slopes, I could not go back to black. I would have to play first a ski lift to go up in the slopes and be able to play tougher slopes. But this is how we're going to play those. This is the end of my turn after I've played a card. We move on to the next player and so on and so forth. On my turn, instead of drawing then playing a card, I can discard 3 cards from my hand to re-roll the die. And this is going to change the objective that we are going to have. So about the objectives, for example, in 8, we are simply going to score everything that is in our snowfront, in the ski department, but not the rest. We can have different conditions. For example, here, when we have a plus, we simply count the different sections, add them up, and then that's our score. However, if there is an end, like so, we have to have at least 1 point in the different sections. So in this case, I would need to have a point in restaurants, in after-ski, and here in skiing. The accommodation would not matter, but I would need to have at least 1 in each section to gain any points at all. So that's basically it for the objectives. So now there are other types of cards. We have accommodation. The accommodation is going to give you points if it is concerned by the different objectives. And if I want to have a better accommodation, I can always play a new accommodation by playing a card on top of it. So you're not going to count the card on the bottom, but still you improved. We also have some restaurant cards. They work the same way as the after-ski cards. You place them in exactly in the same way, just not in the same section. We also have not today cards. If you play a not today card, it works like a tough luck card, except it doesn't target a specific type. It doesn't incur a penalty for the player you're targeting. You're just discarding any card that's accessible from their snow front. We also have a ski instructor, and the ski instructor can cover for a symbol that you do not have. It is basically a wild. So for example, in this case, it would count as a symbol even if it doesn't give you flakes. It can also protect you from different attacks like not today cards, and so on and so forth. And finally, we have end of day cards. So the day can end in one of three ways. Either a player plays an end of day card, that's the end of the day immediately, or a player discards three cards from the hand from the second time in a day. That means that they do their reroll and that's the end of the day. Or a player has either three restaurant cards or three after-ski cards. Then you continue the table turn, you finish the table turn, and then you count points. And to count points, you're simply going to count the points depending on the objectives. In this case, I would not score anything because I don't have any after-ski cards. But if I did have that, I would score 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points in that section. I would not count this since it is not counted in the current objective. Then we play another day, we discard everything that we have here, draw a fresh hand, and so on and so forth. And we play the chosen number of days, and at the end of the game, you count up the total of flakes that you have had, and the highest total is the winner. So that's it for Skiiks. Skiiks is a game in which you plan your best vacation in a snow front, however snow can be capricious. Now, bye bye, see you in Ludo-Chrono.